Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out to the Blue Bamboo and welcome to the show tonight. I think this is a lot of old friends in here. I usually ask for a show of hands. Are there any new people, new folks, never been to the Blue Bamboo yet? Okay, just one lady back there. Oh, there's a couple more, just only 3 or 4 of you. So most of you don't need the speech, but we're so excited to be here up and running finally. It was a long journey to get to this point. We've got a lot more to do. The upper floors of the building are still going to be developed. We have a tenant we would like to move into the second floor. We've got big plans for the third floor too. And there is believe it or not, there's a second theater on this floor, which is going to open up hopefully next month. And that holds 60 people, and it'll be our sort of early week stuff that we do down there. So I'm really excited about all the different things we have going on. We're just getting started, but we really like where we're at so far. How about you? Yeah, okay. I thought so. So there's a lot of cool things happening here. Every Thursday night I do a special concert with my band. I'm happy to say it's been very well attended. And then in our second set, we invite young musicians. Usually, they don't all have to be young. There's no age limit or anything, but we invite musicians to come up and sit in. It's an old-fashioned jazz jam session. And we've been stunned and surprised by the plethora of young talent that keeps coming out for these events over and over and over again. And they're really talented kids who need a place to do this, and we're excited to be able to provide it for them. A new mentoring program is just starting. A young person contacted me and said, I have a big band and I want to perform at Blue Bamboo. And I said, well, tell me about your band. Send me your promotional links. And he went, my what? And I said, well, what would you charge? He said, I don't know, the low end of whatever you pay normally. And I said, no, somebody's got to tell you how to do this, because that's not how to do it. You got to figure out what your value is in the marketplace and figure out how to brand yourself. There's a lot of business stuff that goes along with being an artist. And if you're not really concerned with that, you're probably not going to get far out of the garage. So I came up with this idea to create a mentoring program for young musicians who come through. So they would come through and have a live rehearsal, and the public would be invited to support this effort. And in each rehearsal, this is a series of 5 shows, and the first 4 would be helping them develop their promotional materials, learn how to use the website, learn how to get on social media, learn how to brand yourself, basically, and help them develop the show too, and how to develop a consistent show that gets repeated over time. And then that 5th show is they're in the big room performing for you, and then hopefully coming back on a regular basis. So our first candidate has agreed to do that, and we are about to start that program next month. I think it's going to be the first Wednesday of the month, and we're going to bring in this group, and they're called the Florida Man Big Band. So I also like the name of the band. But that's the first candidate for what I hope is going to be a program that sponsors a lot of mentoring and help for young artists who are just getting started and trying to figure out how to move into ticketed events, which is really where it's at. So I hope you guys will come out and support that effort and all the other things we do. The best thing you can do for us is buy a ticket to a show. We love it. If you've got money to donate, that's great. We never run out of a need. We never stop having a need for funding. But you are supporting us just by being here tonight, and we're very grateful for you. So give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, we're going to get the show started now. I want you to warmly welcome my good friend, Jack Graham.
Wow, y'all are beautiful. How is everybody? Good. I can see about half of you, and the rest of you are dark back there. No hanky panky. Hanky panky is that an old man word? Well, you'd think it would stay tuned, but I guess you turn lights on it, it's going to go out of tune. So that's enough of that. I found the capo. Karen, yeah, thanks. Karen will tell you that's something I can rarely do at home. Some nights I tell the sky our story, but I don't have to say a word. Words are useless in the cosmos. Words are stupid and absurd. Some nights I tell the stars our story, how we raised intrepid generals, taught them to fight for paper money, invisible lines and minerals. I tell a tale. Will the computer love the sunset? Will we midwife our demise? Can it calculate my love? Will it know how to be kind? Can't just rewind. Some nights I talk to the horizon, do my damnedest not to swear. Some days I plead with the horizon, she don't even know I'm there. I sure do care. Between the time we're given, we don't find that much of nothing. Ain't that something? Guess that's just the way it is living. Some nights I plead with the skyland. Some nights I scream into the void. Some nights I feel like I'm a man. Other nights I'm just a boy. Will the computer love the sunset? Will we midwife our demise? Will it calculate our love? Will it know how to be kind? But some days I talk to the skyland. I promise her we'll do our best. I think that I might die from laughing at the infinite jest. I need some rest. Thank you, man. That's a song by Jesse Wells. He's my new folk artist hero. And if you haven't heard of him, go to YouTube some months he'll do 30 songs, one a day. And all of it amazes me. Jesse's a smart young man. Hey, this is the first time I've been on a stage in 21 months. Golly, it feels kind of strange. It's frightening almost, right? I'm really, really happy to be back here. I've got a family because they're from all over the world and a bunch of different styles, and they're things that I've stumbled across, almost like they were given to me in the last couple of years, like if you ever get to play again, you should do these. So that's what you're going to hear from us tonight. I appreciate you coming here. I've got Katie with me and Jordan. Chuck is here. We're going to grow as the evening goes by. The fact of the matter is that I have been thinking about kindness and how I heard one of my musical heroes, Tim Minchin, say, it's really easy to be kind to people that you like. I thought, I never thought of it that way. It's true. Somebody's trying to get in the front door and it's locked. Now they're walking away. It's true, and what's cool about being kind to someone is that it's really doing something good for yourself. So Tim suggested, and I'm trying to embrace, that my arms are wide enough so I can be kind to people I don't like, to people who are absolute opposite of me. Because it's big of us when we can be kind to somebody we like. It's sharing love and connection. But if we can share kindness with people we don't like, maybe that helps both of us. I don't know. Maybe they'll hit me. Who knows? So that's kind of what that's like tonight. We're going to talk about, so I've also noticed by being kind to people that I grow these, what I'm now seeing as found families. Now this might seem weird, but I've been going to the same grocery store for 32 years. And I have watched people at the cash register grow up and be managers, move to other stores, go away and come back as customers. I've seen customers that's the only place I know them, is that I've seen them for the last 32 years at our grocery store. So when I go in there, I am always surprised when some of these things happen. And I'm going to tell you about some of my favorite ones. Am I going to do that now? No, I'm not. Kindness is a way to grow a found family. So I first encountered found families because I used to do this thing with Bank Helfrich and T. Smallin, and we did living room theater. I don't know how many of you saw living room theater. Yeah. We did our 100th performance at the Blue Bamboo by Chris and Melody's Grace. And he came in there and heard me playing guitar, and he's like, you got to play guitar. And I know you got to come here and play. I know I've told this story before, so I won't now. But that's kind of how this got started here. And I consider you guys my family. And we are a big part of the Blue Bamboo family. So I'm going to be kind and play something a little more gentle than that opening song. Actually, I'm going to play two in a row because I like the way they go together. If I can stay in tune for two songs. Thank you. So, you think about the grocery store, there's a found family there. Then there's a found family in the neighborhood, and then there's one in Orlando and Florida and the U.S., our hemisphere, the whole earth. We're all kind of in this together, and we are all sort of made up of the same stuff. We have a lot of different ideas and sometimes get in our way. But so far, we've been to Arkansas, Chehalis, Washington, and Wolfville, Nova Scotia with those 3 tunes. And we're getting ready to go to Argentina, Disney, is that a... Laconia and Romania, Portland, Maine, and New Hampshire. And to do that, I get to call out my friend Katie. Katie, are you there? Yes. You may know this, but while we're getting ready here, Katie was walking around in here cleaning up at the end of the night when she was in the bar and singing like a master, like a bird or yeah.
Do you want there?
Huh?
Do you want this here or
Oh
there?
yeah, that's a good idea.
That was my master plan to interrupt his story.
She brought me a clock, so maybe I won't talk too long. Is that what it was?
No, I really just wanted to ask you where you wanted it.
So we're going to do something from Astor Piazzolla's collection of historical tango music. He wrote this Histoire du Tango, and he's a modern composer, but this one represents what he knew to be tango in 1900, and it's set in a bordello. So how many of you know what it was like in Argentinian bordellos? Oh no, we've got liars out there. I don't know either. So that's what this is, 1900 Bordel.
Ready?
Yep.
Ah.
Woo. Thank you. How about that?
Thank you.
Okay,
very
now who's
much.
been to a bordello in Argentina? Okay. I don't know if I'd be comfortable if I was in a bordello and that's what was going on. Just somehow or another. I'm going to take a minute to retune, and I have a brand new microphone. It's right here where my hand goes, so I'm sorry I keep hitting it. Might not be so bad for y'all, but Chris is back there freaking out. Where are we going now, Katie? Do you know?
Disney.
We're going to Disney.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, do you want to finish telling your story? But I guess you can't talk and do that at the same time.
Did that really change that much, or did I just not tune it the first time? Never mind.
I was going to say, sounds good to me, but what do I know?
Right.
When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Every hour we spent together lives within my heart. And when she was sad, I was there to dry her tears. And when she was happy, so was I. When she loved me. Through the summer and the fall, we had each other, that was all. Just she and I together, like it was meant to be. And when she was lonely, I was there to comfort her. And I knew that she loved me. So the years went by, I stayed the same. She began to drift away. I was left alone. Still I waited for the day when she'd say, I will always love you. Lonely and forgotten, never thought she'd look my
almost cried.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was really close to being the only time I've cried on stage.
So, like I said, Disney. I was just gonna say, raise your hand if you know what movie that's from. Shout it out. Very good. Yes, really? I know. So study up for our next show when we're gonna have another Disney song. And you only have like, I don't know, 150 movies to watch to study. Probably more if you count Pixar and all that.
So, I have the pleasure now of introducing one of my friends who's going to come out here and tell us a little bit about her experiences with kindness. T. Smallin.
I don't know why I started labeling my friends' houses on Google Maps. It just kind of happened. Jack's house became Princess Thorn's palace because Jack's dog, Thorn, was named after a storybook princess. And then came Becky and Kevin's Play Hub, Floor's nook of peaceful serenity. It snowballed. The other day, I'm in my sweatpants, avoiding my to-do list by zooming in and out on Google Maps. I see I-4, 408, Lake Eola, and then my labels start blooming across the city. Greg's Cocoon of Compassion, Melissa's Kitty Cove. And as I sat there looking at that, I thought, these are my people. And then, wait. Why only them? So many other little boxes on the map. So many humans who are just as here as I am. I've lived in Mexico City, in Chicago, and Belfast, but Orlando's the very first place I stayed long enough to see my own history pile up. On the map, I see my past. I see where I first lived, where my car broke down and strangers helped, where I met my best friend, where I healed, where I felt safe, where my weirdness found its people, my people. Some I see every week, some only at Zumba or Fringe, but they're mine. Some, and this is wild, some I don't even know yet. Years ago, I was on a bus in India, traveling through a tiny village. I see a woman with 2 kids by the side of the road. The kids waved, I waved back. And then the woman and I locked eyes. It was brief, but something strangely intimate passed between us. 2 strangers in the middle of nowhere, this burst of love, never to meet again. Astronauts have this thing called the overview effect. It's when everything shifts and you suddenly realize we belong to each other. My first taste of that was that time in India. The second happened in sweatpants while staring at Google Maps. And both reminded me, you don't need a grand reason to love people. We can love each other for no reason or every reason, even if it's silly or small or weird. Because we're here together, and that's kind of everything. Thank you.
I love that she's so much more eloquent than I am. I'm not even going to get on the seat right. So I went to Publix. And as I got out on my journey to get something Karen had sent me for, as I got out of the car, I noticed it's starting to rain. It's really dark overhead. And I hear this trumpet. And I'm thinking, wow, that's beautiful. Not anything flashy or even a melody I recognize, just these long tones, wide vibrato and a little quieter at the end. 3 full tones I heard. And as I'm walking towards the store, and it stopped. And when I got up there, I saw, this is the Hollyanna, so the ATM's blocked from your entrance. You're coming out of the parking lot. And there's a man standing there. He's got 2 little kids and another one in his arm, and he's got his wallet here, and he's trying to manage to get $1 out of it to give to this other man, who I believe is wearing all the clothes that he has, 3, 4 shirts, something like that. He's got a coat on top of it, and it's not cold outside. I don't want to say anything bad about him, except that I could smell him from there. And I noticed this man was taking the time out of his day with these small children to show kindness to this stranger. And I was already bowled over by him just because he shared his trumpet notes with me. So I went inside, I got a bunch of stuff and came outside, and I thought, oh, I want to give this guy a tip. And I had paid with my credit card, and I opened my wallet, and I had a bunch of 20s, and I thought, well, I can't give him a 20. So I thought, I'll go see what's in the car. So I went and got in, unloaded my stuff, and I realized I didn't get what Karen sent me here for. So I went back into the grocery store. I got what I was supposed to get, and I thought, okay, I'll pay with cash this time. So I wasn't paying much attention. I gave her a 20, and what she gave me back were a couple of 5s and some coins. And I went outside, and I'm real comfortable giving $1 or 2 or whatever. I looked in there, I thought, well, he's getting a 5 from me. And I walked over to him, and he wasn't playing. He'd put his trumpet down. He was turned away from me, and I said, good evening, sir. And he turned around and looked, and I said, I really loved the playing that I heard. By this time, it had started raining. I guess he was going to leave. And he turned around, and he said, thank you. And I thought, he's my brother. We're musicians. I said, is this audience treating you well out here? And he looked at me and didn't understand what I'd said. I said, well, are you making some money out here? Because you're giving the goods. He said, yes, sir. And so I handed him my bill. He didn't look at it. He put it in his pocket, and he turned away from me. And I thought, well, I guess, that's the end of our conversation. And when he turned back, his eyes were tearing. And he said, do you know what you just did? And I said, no, I gave you some money for your beautiful playing. And he said, you just told me that I'm a musician. Everyone else thinks that I'm a bum. And at that moment, he and I were absolutely like I'd known him all my life. I felt this energy coming off of him, and I hoped he felt it coming off of me. It was great. And I felt like $1 million. I would have gladly given him a 20 if I knew that was going to be what it was. And I haven't heard him since then, but kindness will heal you. And he's now part of my family, too. We're getting ready to go klezmer, Hungarian, Romanian for you. How's that sound?
Don't hurt yourselves now.
What's beautiful about that is Katie and Karen, for a matter of fact, I'm very fortunate in my life that I get corrected regularly. And that means I can swerve all I want, and it'll be okay.
No.
Well, depends on the situation. All right, you ready?
I guess.
Still missed it? Told you. Try me again. Yay, Katie.
Fourth time's the charm.
Do like one of
I
those things.
was. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You just never know, do you? All right. Y'all want to hear Katie sing again? Oh, yeah. Me too. I'm going to make sure I'm in tune for that. Is everybody having fun? Oh, yeah. All right. Where are we going now?
We're not going far, distance-wise.
Is it New Hampshire?
Yeah, New Hampshire, New Michigan,
That's what I thought.
something like that. Do you want me to say a few words?
If you like.
Dearly beloved. This song is very special to me. If you know me, you probably know this woman as well who wrote this song. She was born in 1924. She wrote music in the 50s, made salon kitchen recordings in the 50s, never achieved fame for this, gorgeous music that she left behind. And then in 1974, she disillusioned with the world, wrote letters to her family, filled a filing cabinet with all her music, got into her van and drove away and was never seen or heard from again. And her name is Connie Converse, and that's who wrote this song. Ready?
So if we ever see you filling up a filing cabinet and getting ready, we need to. Sorry.
I never told you the filing cabinet part, but yeah, that's part of it.
I thought you said filing cabinet.
I did.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. How's that?
People say a roving woman is likely not to be better than she ought to be. So when I stray away from where I've got to be, someone always takes me home. A lady never should habituate saloons, yet that is where I find myself on many afternoons. And just as I begin to blow away the foam, someone tips his hat to me and takes me home. People say a roving woman is likely not to be better than she ought to be. So when I stray away from where I've got to be, someone always takes me home. Now poker is a game a lady shouldn't play, yet every floatin' poker game just seems to float my way. And long before I've lost a thing besides my comb, someone tips his hand to me and takes me home. Don't see why they always do it. Can't be vanity, must be sheer humanity, when some kind soul remarks with great urbanity, "Lady, let me take you home." Of course there's bound to be some little aftermath that makes a pleasant ending for the straight and narrow path. And as I go to sleep, I cannot help but think how glad I am that I was saved from cards and drink. People say a roving woman is likely not to be better than she ought to be. So when I stray, there's positively got to be someone there to take me home.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's the end of our first set. I hope you'll stay around for some more. Oh,
Something does happen at halftime.
in our house, my wife and I make sourdough bread. I know some of you may have been the recipient of a previous sourdough, but tonight we're going to have T. Smallin come back up. We managed to make 4 loaves in spite of the extreme temperatures that it puts our house in. We managed not to get real angry about it when it's 93 in there and we're baking, and not to eat too much. We didn't eat too much, did we? A little bit. So, Tees, are you going to come up here and
I'll go get her.
where is she?
I'll go get him.
Tees, Tees, Tees. Ah, there she comes. There they come.
I know, I'm sorry. Here.
All right. Did you tell them what it was?
I did.
You did. Oh, man. All right. So, check these out. They are like beautiful and delicious. Yeah. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Jack. So I was thinking like criteria. What kind of criteria should we play with tonight? I thought something that would be fun is just like who came from the furthest away? Who traveled to get here tonight? From where? From Celebration. Who can beat Celebration? St. Cloud. Mount Dora. New Smyrna. All right. Vero Beach. Yeah. Mount Dora. Who can help? I'm thinking Vero Beach is our furthest. Am I right with that? All right. Awesome. Come on up, please. Wonderful. All right. Loaf number 2. I was thinking, who is newest to Orlando? Who has just moved here and could use a little welcome home present? Welcome to your new home. Who? How long have you been here? Since March. Anybody here newly since March? Anything fresher than that? It's you. Okay. For funsies, living room theater. Has anybody here been a host of living room theater? Oh my gosh, look at this. What? No way. Look at how many. This is amazing. All right, okay, cool. Anybody host more than one living room theater in your house? No? One. Okay. What can be the tiebreaker here? Yeah, who is like, yeah, what was the longest to go, if you can remember? Yeah, Jenny, I think it's you. I think it's you that like the earliest, like one of our very early first shows, I think was you. Come on down. All right. And lastly, what's that? Auction. Let's raise some money. It's a good idea. Oh, man. All right. I've got one last one, which is I just found out that tonight is Jack's 12th show of Jack and Friends. And so I was wondering who has been to the most of them? Chris. Oh. And that, how many? Do you have a sense of how many you've been to? 7 or 8? Can anybody beat 7 or 8? No? All right, it's Annette and Ron. All right, well, just looking out here, I just see so much love and so much support. It's so lovely to see so many familiar faces. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Hello, am I back? Kinda back. Coming back. Hello, everyone. Thanks for hanging around. I hear these people say I have the great pleasure of introducing, but this person is very dear to my family. Absolutely love her. Met her when we were doing living room theater. She's a professional storyteller. About a year ago, she told me, yeah, I'm not going to tell anymore. And then recently she said, can I? I said, yes. Her name is Madeline Potts. If you'll welcome to the stage, she's going to tell you a story.
Thank you, Jed. Am I on this mic?
You are.
Okay. Hi. It's really a pleasure to be here. And when Jack told me that the theme of the evening was family, well, that was right up my alley because I come from a family. No, I came from a big family, and I have a big family. And when you have a big family and come from a big family, you got some mighty interesting people scattered around that family. So I'm going to tell you a story about one of those people in my family, my big brother, Charlie. I have to tell you that my big brother, Charlie, well, he was kind of self-absorbed, which means he did whatever he wanted to do. He said whatever he wanted to say, regardless of consequences, regardless of people's feelings. And somehow he always got away with everything. He was the Teflon brother. And I could never understand it, why my parents couldn't see it coming. I knew when the mischief was coming because I could tell by his face. He had a tell, like poker players have a tell. It was a look on his face that he would get a big, broad, closed-mouth grin. His eyebrows would go up a little bit. His eyes would get rounded. He looked a little like the Joker. But I was the only one that ever saw it. And I loved him. And I trusted him. Now, when I was 9 and Charlie was 13, my daddy bought a boat. What a beauty it was. It was 26 feet of double-planked mahogany. It had a little teak deck. And then there, you could step down into this little cabin. And if you turn to the right, there was the galley. Galley. That's boating talk for kitchen. But it wasn't a kitchen. I'm not even sure it was a galley. It was a little section of countertop with about an 8-inch sink sunk into it. And on the little bit of counter that was next to it was a bolted down mug tree with 6 mugs that were emblazoned with the logo of the boat company, right? And they were guaranteed to be unsinkable. So if your boat went down, you would still have your mugs. On the other side, as you walked into this tiny cabin, was the head. That's boating talk for bathroom. Wasn't a bathroom. It was a 2.5 by 2.5 foot cubicle with a teeny tiny potty. I mean, it was so small. It was like those little training potties that you get your little kids to learn how to go pee-pee on the potty. You had to aim carefully to sit on it. And I would have to balance my knees over my toes because there wasn't enough room to put my feet flat on the floor. But then there was what the manufacturer called the Sleeps 3 berth. Bed, berth. Wasn't a bed, I don't think it was a berth. It was a 4-inch thick foam pad covered with canvas. And it was shaped like an upside down V with the point chopped off. And 2 people could sleep on it, head to head at an angle with their feet dangling off. And I suppose a 3rd person could sleep in the middle if they could sleep sitting up. But my favorite part was that I could crawl over that Sleeps 3 berth into the hull and push open the hatch and climb up, and I would be sitting on top of the hull. And I want to tell you, when we would be out in the ocean and the water would be splashing and the sun would be shining and glistening off the swells, there was nothing more wonderful. But there was a catch. We could only use the boat from Memorial Day at the end of May until Labor Day in September, because those were the parameters of our marine insurance policy. The rest of the time, the boat went into dry dock. This was in Brooklyn, by the way, in New York, so that's why the boats went into dry dock in the winter. And then in the spring, we would get it ready to go back into the water. Well, it came to pass on a Saturday. My parents were going out. I think they were going to a wedding. They were all dressed up. They left me in the care of my big brother, Charlie. And we waved goodbye to them. And as soon as their car rounded the corner and was out of sight, Charlie said to me, "Want to go to the boatyard?" Well, of course I wanted to go to the boatyard. Who wouldn't want to go to the boatyard? But how were we going to get there? It was 7 miles away. Charlie said, "Don't worry, I got a plan." And he positioned me on the handlebars of his bike. My feet were sticking out straight in front of me to clear the wheel. My head was down and bent forward so he could see above me. You know, I felt a little bit like the figurehead on a sailing ship. As we made our way through Brooklyn, past automobiles and delivery trucks and city buses and pedestrians, until finally we reached the Knapp Street, which ran alongside the Knapp Street Canal, into the gravel road that brought us into Schatz Brothers Boatyard, where we had our 26-foot little cabin cruiser. I was so excited. My brother was so excited. He did a wheelie in triumph that we got there, which of course dumped me out right onto the gravel and skinned both of my knees. But not to worry. We had a first aid kit on board. So my brother hosed off my knees and mercurochromed them. Anyone here remember mercurochrome? Didn't do a thing, but it was bright orange. And bandaged them, and we went on the boat. My brother said, "Take the ropes off." I said, "Charlie, we're not supposed to do that." He said, "Oh, I just want to make sure everything's ready for the first big day tomorrow out on the water." I said, "Okay." So I undid the ropes. And before I knew it, we were drifting backwards out of the slip. Charlie cut the wheel and faced us forward. And we were heading down the canal. And when we reached the water where the canal met the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, Charlie pulled back on the throttle. Oh, it was wonderful. I scampered across the pads in the cabin. I climbed out onto the hull. I felt like I was riding a great big bird as the water rose up on either side of us. It was heavenly. After a little while of riding like this, my brother called out, "Having fun?" And I turned around to answer him. And as I did, I saw dark, ominous clouds rolling in, dark storm clouds coming our way. And I said, "Charlie, weather." "What? Weather? What? Weather?" And he finally turned around and he said, "Okay, we'll head in." He turned the boat around. I went back to my place on the hull, and just as I took my seat up there, I saw a gigantic log right in front of us, as big as a tree. And I yelled, "Charlie, wood, wood, wood!" And it was too late. Wham! We smacked right into that gigantic log. Charlie cut the engine. I went running back out onto the deck. We stared at each other. And then very slowly, Charlie turned the key in the ignition. The engine hummed to life. He pulled back ever so slightly on the throttle. Clunk, 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 clunk. Oh no, we knew that sound. We knew what it meant. We had bent the propeller. The day before marine insurance. The day that we weren't supposed to be out on the water at all. Well, Charlie turned the boat around. We headed back at a snail's pace so that we wouldn't vibrate the engine loose from our broken propeller. And we finally made it back to the boatyard, and actually back to our house minutes before my folks arrived. But enough time to set a Monopoly set on the living room rug with houses and hotels and paper money, dice. You know, it looked like we had been playing all afternoon. And that's when my folks came in, and the first thing my mother said was, "Madeline, what happened to your knees?" But Charlie had coached me. And I said, as I was told to, "Oh, I slipped on the brick steps of the stoop and I skinned both my knees. But Charlie took good care of me." And you could see the trusting look in my mother's eyes and admiration for how well her son had done. That night, Charlie didn't say anything about the broken propeller. We had dinner, and he still didn't say anything. We watched TV, and then we went to bed, and he still hadn't said anything. In the morning, we got up. My mother was making tuna fish sandwiches and putting them in the cooler with cans of root beer to take on the boat for the maiden voyage. And I said, Charlie, you got to tell Daddy. He said, keep your mouth shut. Don't say a word. I'll figure something out. So I didn't say a word as we piled into the car, and I didn't say a word as we drove over to Schatz Brothers' boatyard, and I didn't say a word as we piled onto the boat. My father took the keys, tossed them to my brother, and said, "Here, son, do the honors and take us out." And my brother, in an uncharacteristic act of respect and humility, said, "No, Dad, your boat. First honors belong to you." And he gave him the keys. My father was beaming with pride. He put the key in the ignition and turned it over. The engine began to hum. And then we drifted backwards out of the slip. He cut the wheel. We eased ourselves forward and into the canal that led to the open waters of the Atlantic Ocean. He pulled back on the throttle. Junka, 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 junk. And my brother yelled, "Wood! Wood, Dad! Wood!" And my father cut the engine. He said, what's going on? What happened? And my brother said, "Wood, Dad, you hit a log. I tried to tell you. Why didn't you listen to me?" We had bent the propeller. Well, my father never did find out the truth about that broken propeller. My mother figured it out, but never said a word. And it was now Memorial Day. We had insurance. And so the boat got fixed. We had a lovely summer on the water. And that is my story of boating with Charlie. Thank you.
Christ. Jordan Christenot. Thanks, Jordan. Great. Hey, guess what I found out? Someone in here is having a birthday today, and I'm not going to tell you how many, but her name is Terry Sullivan. That's right. Can we sing Happy Birthday to you? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you. Ooh. You bet. Your family there loves you, and they told me that secret. We're running a little bit long, so I got to tell you that I'm just going to give you the headlines for my other Publix Hollyanna stories. I went there, and there were $400 sticking out of the ATM machine. And I didn't want to just give it to the person behind the counter who said, "Oh, you can just give it to me," when I asked them what their process was. A couple of days later, I got a phone call from a wonderful lady, ecstatic. She couldn't believe that somebody had put her $400 back in her hands. So she's a member of my family. I followed a woman into Publix Hollyanna, a tall, pale-skinned woman, completely dressed in black with long black hair, nails, makeup, carrying a bag. I tried not to follow her too closely, but you know, she was stalk-worthy, I guess you could say. And instead, as I walked around the store, I ran into her again. I noticed she had a big bag from Powell's Bookstore, somewhere that Karen and I had been in Portland when we visited our son out there. And on the side of it had a picture of John Waters. Now, I don't know if any of you know John Waters films, but he's a master of real trash films. And when I was a young man, I thought that was just amazing. And it had a picture, and it said, "If the person you're dating doesn't read books, don't F them." And I said, "Oh, I love the John Waters bag." And instead of responding in any other way, she pulled her head back, kicked her hip out, and gave me just this little pose. Just for a brief moment there, we were in the same space. Just remember my Publix family. So the other one was an employee watching me. We'd been out west again, and I bought some Rainier cherries, 5 pounds of them, and I left them in the refrigerator at the hotel before our flight home. So I went to Publix, and they had Rainier cherries. They don't have them long. They're too expensive. I bought them anyway. And as I was self-checking, an employee comes there, a young girl I'd never seen before, and she said, "Are those peaches? I said, "They're cherries, Rainier cherries. Have you ever had one?" And she said, "No." I said, "Oh, try one." And I'm sure that's against the rules to eat cherries out of a customer's bag or whatever before they're weighed or paid. And from now on, she and I are going to be best of friends when we go in there. Also a member of the family. So I'd like to introduce Chuck Archard back here. I know many of you know him. He's a genius musician, bass player, and a really wonderful person too. He's going to help us with these next. We have to cut out George Jones and Tammy Wynette's Jet Set because we're going to run out of time. Yeah, and you should hear Katie's Tammy.
You didn't have to tell them.
So this is one of those that came to us too from my only student. I think she's watching us out there on YouTube, wherever that camera is. So we're going to do this one for you. It's not the long dress that you're in. It's not the light coming off of your skin. The fragile heart you protected for so long. The mercy in your sense of right or wrong. It's not your hands reaching out in the dark. or your nails leaving love's watermark. It's not the way you talk me off the roof. Your questions like directions to the truth. It's knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some time alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together. One day I'll be gone.
Or one day I'll be gone.
If we were vampires and death was a joke, we'd go out on the sidewalk and smoke. Laugh at all the lovers and their plans. Wouldn't have the need to hold your hand. Maybe time running out is a gift. I'll work hard till the end of my shift to give you every second I can find. And hope it isn't me that's left behind. It's knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together. One day I'll be gone.
Or one day I'll be gone.
It's knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together. One day I'll be gone.
Or one day I'll be gone.
I have the real pleasure of introducing Teresa Smith-Levin, who's going to come up here and give us her spin on our kindness and found families.
I really love that you guys are going to stay on stage with me. I didn't know this was going to happen, but it's really, I think it's powerful when you have a group next to you. So I'm really glad you're staying up here. Hi, I'm Teresa, and I am so thankful that Jack invited me to speak on this. I love this stage and I love this space. And if you're not familiar, I am the executive director and founder of Central Florida Vocal Arts, and we're that second floor tenant that Chris mentioned earlier. We're going to be opening a collaborative arts conservatory on the second floor, and I'm really passionate about this idea that arts and creativity and expression is an innately human experience, something 4 to 94, there is no expiration date on creativity. And so hopefully lots of our friends will join us up there. And I am passionate about that for a lot of the things I'm going to share with you this evening. So when you think about family, a lot of people ask, what does family mean to you? And of course, the cliche trope is, well, family is everything to me. But really, what does family mean to you? I think the answer that comes up has a lot more to do with what your lived experience was in your family of origin. And so for me, I was born here in Winter Park Hospital to two of the most amazing parents a girl could ask for. The other day, my daughter, who's in competition dance, one of the dance moms said to me, you know, you won the parent lottery. And she's absolutely right. Because not only did my parents show up for me, they show up for their grandchildren. And when I was growing up, they showed up for my friends. We were the house where everyone was welcome. You were safe and loved while you were with my family. And so when you ask me what family means unconditional love. It means acceptance. Family means showing up. But as I grew and I started my own company, I found that for a lot of people, that's not what family meant to them. In a voice studio, the things that a singer would disclose were things that otherwise they might only say in a therapist's office about what family meant to them. And being in a rehearsal with actors who were working through self-doubt and criticism and insecurity because they didn't get that love and acceptance belief that I got so freely. But there's also opportunity there, you see, because the voice is a window into the soul. And if you're not sure that that's true, I want you to know that I ugly cried almost every time these two opened their mouth tonight. It's an opportunity for us to connect with others, but more importantly with ourselves. Creating spaces where people can feel and heal and authentically express themselves is really, really magical. And with the company, with Central Florida Vocal Arts, we created a culture where that's just how we lived. And that opens us up to connecting with each other. And so I've had the privilege of being beside students and actors as they've gotten married and had babies or gone through tragedy and death. To look at someone's experience in the eye and be there with them is something really, really special. And they've been there for me too. When my son was diagnosed with autism and I was filled with anxiety, not knowing what that would mean for his future or how I would be able to show up for him and show up for my found CFVA family, they were there. Or when inevitably I have to put up with some shitty patriarchal thing that happens when you keep trying to tell people that yes, it can be better and we can challenge the status quo. There aren't some people who aren't ready to hear that. But my real family and my found family are there. And I never question whether my voice belongs in those rooms because I borrowed that belief from them. So I was one of the lucky ones. I didn't need a found family, but I found that many people needed what I had been given: belief and love and showing up. So I think that family is everywhere. Sometimes they're at the Hollyanna Publix, but I believe that your child is my child, and my success is your success. And if we're all going to create the kind of community and the future that we can be proud of, we all need to live in that space. So I hope that you find some new family members here tonight. And I hope that if you have that love in your heart and you've been given much as I have, you are charged to give it back. Thank you for letting me be a part of this.
A new sister. All right, I hope you guys will be okay if you push it past your bedtime.
I watched her get goosebumps during that. Not it gave me goosebumps, but also I watched her get goosebumps.
Yeah.
That was special.
That was real. So on the lighter side. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does Jordan know that? All right. If I die before you, I don't care what you do with the biology that used to be me. Though I hope they don't sap me for a permanent display, and I hope that you're happy, but not right away. Oh, the stuff in the closet, just jettison it all. The pants are too short, the shoes are too small, the shirts are too big. What can I say? Time, sloth, and cannabis made me that way. guitars like the treasures they are. They still have stories to tell. They may not know why I had to go. They've always been loved very well. If I die before you, it might not all be bad. You could turn down the heat. You can turn up the ads. You can reset the toaster to maximum roast and then butter the cinders you like to call toast. Oh, I'll send you a message if ever I can and tell you it's fine, that it's not the end, or I might not be able. I might just be dead, or it might really be as hot as they said. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. That's that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It means, really means the world to me and my immediate family. And I hope you found yourself somewhere in that story, because I do feel that you're part of my family. And be kind to others. And if you run into me in the grocery store, I'm going to talk to you.
You'll be a story in the next show, is what he's really saying.
Just if you don't want to talk, just turn the other way and walk off.
Jack Graham, everybody.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.